are you? We are at the Palio Di Siena. It's a horse race that takes place in the town square of Siena, Italy, and it's been going on since 1633. This shit is historic as fuck. Siena is divided into 17 neighborhoods, or contradas, which each have their own emblem. My Airbnb is in the dragon contrada. There's also a goose contrada. Peace to the geese, fuck the ducks. Each race, 10 of these contradas are selected by a drawing to compete for the coveted Palio banner and, more importantly, bragging rights around the city. And the neighborhoods only get to pick the jockey, the one riding the horse. When it comes to which horse represents which neighborhood, they have to draw lots. So it's like a lottery, completely random. Now, I don't know much about horse racing, but I thought it's usually the horse that wins the race, not the jockey that wins the race. So that's kind of messed up. I feel like each neighborhood should be able to kind of like train their own horse over the course of a year to get it ready and not leave it completely up to chance. But as I learned later, the jockey each contrada selects is actually pretty damn important. Bribery isn't just tolerated at the Palio, but celebrated. And it's up to each contrada's jockey to offer their rivals payoffs in exchange for assistance in the race. Whoa, that's weird. But I wasn't concerned with corruption. Every race attracts up to 60,000 spectators, so I was just worried about finding a decent place to watch it. When it comes to getting a ticket to this thing, you got two options. You can pay at least 360 euros, probably a lot more than that, to sit in one of the balconies up here, which are, I think they're just people's homes, and whoever lives there is like, yeah man, I'll sell some tickets to people so they can sit on my balcony. Or you can go in the pit for free. I will be going into the pit because they don't even sell the fancy tickets online. You just kind of have to know someone. The starting line is right down there, so I'm gonna try to post up in the pit over here. I wish these were my seats, but they are not. I'm just in a wine shop right now that opens up, but I think the wine shop closes down before the race starts, and they probably sold a few tickets here. They also have these grandstand seats. I'm telling you, they don't sell any of the tickets online, so I just don't even know how to get them. Normally, I don't mind mucking it up in pits, but apparently it's supposed to be a little miserable, because in order to get a solid position in the pit to watch the race, you got to show up really early. This guy is waiting already. Respect that. Like, some people are saying 2 hours early, some people are saying 4 hours early, and you just got to wait in the scorching heat. Look at that square. Not an ounce of shade. Dude, I need a sun umbrella hat. And there's no bathroom inside. 0 outhouses in there. And they don't sell beers inside. I assume you can bring some in. I mean, I don't even think you'd want to be slugging beers if there's no bathroom. I asked a couple people, I was like, what's it like? And he was like, man, attending this race is miserable, but so worth it. I mean, it's gonna be worth it for me because I'm hoping to film a video about the experience, but if I was just a normal tourist, I don't see how it would really be worth it. I guess it is worth it because it's just like, it's such a cool tradition. 1633. I am here right now, it's not even 2 p.m. and you already have people inside the campo. That's Italian for square. And they are already making sure they get the best seats. I just don't think I could wait for 4 hours here. 6 hours? Yeah, I don't know if I could wait for 6 hours. Don't think I got it in me. I was almost in tears after having to wait like an hour and a half at Calcio Storico. I am so dehydrated and I am dying. I'm literally dying. In a half hour, I could be dead. However, shortly after I left the racetrack, they closed the gates and a giant crowd of people gathered waiting to get back in. And once the gates were reopened and I saw people rushing into the pit, people are running to get a seat. I panicked and decided to join them. I'm officially entering the pit way earlier than I wanted to be entering the pit because it's like not even 4 yet. It's 3+ hours of waiting. I'm just gonna find a place to sit in the dirt. All right, now I'm in the sun. This is gonna be, ooh. This is not good. This dude is wetting people's hats in the fountain and handing them back to them to keep them cool. Hey, you know what? I'll try. Would you be able to get my hat wet? I don't know if it works the same when it's a straw hat. Thank you. Oh yeah. Yeah, that kind of works. I feel a lot better. They're selling water and popcorn over there, and then they got some free water here. Jeez, look at the line. I have no idea who I'm sitting with. I assume the people that are here now are actually from Siena and are a member of one of the neighborhoods and are rooting for a specific team. Because why else would you put yourself through this torture? Now, where should I post up? It was slim pickings. So 3 hours early, I probably already don't have a great seat. I was trying to get a seat near the starting line, but I mean, it's already packed. This is a tough looking crowd. I finally found an open patch of brick near the finish line and hunkered down for the long haul. I've been waiting for maybe 45 minutes, another 2.5 hours to go. The spirits are high. No, spirits are not high. I didn't get a chance to fully unload my bladder before this, and I'm gonna have to pee in a bottle or something, but then the only bottles I have don't have caps, so I'm just gonna be walking around with an uncapped bottle of piss. That I'll probably eventually spill on someone. We got some popcorn.
Popcorn's got a lot of sodium, trying to soak up all the liquids we got going on.
Sodium, I think, makes you pee more, though. Oh, babe. There goes one of the waters. We were past the point of no return, as we were now boxed in by an enormous group of people who would be sure to snatch our spot if we left for even a minute. I don't even know how, like, some older people do this, because they have weaker bladders than me, I assume. And 4 hours is not a short time to wait to take a piss in the blaring sun, so it's kind of a catch-22. You don't want to get dehydrated and have heat stroke, but then again, you don't want to drink too much water where you have to piss. This event doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's about tradition. There is room to put about 8 to 10 porta potties in the middle of the square, but maybe they think that would like tarnish the event. And the lines would be outrageous for those portable shitters, but at least you knew there was a chance to unload if you had to go. It soon became too crowded to remain seated, so it looked like I'd have to endure the final 2 hours standing up. The good thing about how crowded it is that we just sat down in the middle of the crowd and they provided a lot of shade. And we watched stool scenes, actually. Nothing cures heat stroke like a little Riggsy boy action at the Barstool Classic. Riggs, the original heat stroke, you know what I mean? Had to unbutton the shirt, so I'm feeling a little bit better. And the sun is finally behind that building. We are good. Before the race, representatives from each contrada marched through the city dressed as Lord Farquaad to commemorate the ancient institutions, customs, and greatness of Siena. All the neighborhoods are doing a little parade right now. Even the snails. Yes, Team Snail would be competing in the race. Team Seashells would be too. I guarantee you those guys are hard as fuck, because you can't be soft going around calling yourself a seashell, or people will take advantage of you. So I bet you they overcompensate. They're probably the most violent contrada in the city. The parade continued onto the racetrack and featured a cavalry charge, as well as a bunch of flag theatrics. The parade's been going on for like an hour and a half. Ever since we had to stand up, it's very cramped. Got separated from my girlfriend. We asked some guy if she could come and stand near me. He got very angry. and I was like, you know what, the locals take it very seriously. I don't want to get into a fist fight before the horse race starts. So she's over there. This has probably been the toughest part of the whole day, just standing here, shoulder to shoulder. It's kind of like being on a crowded New York subway, but usually you're only on those for a half hour tops. It's like being on one of those for an hour and a half, but you have a sick-ass medieval parade going on around you. That dude's got a chicken on his helmet. Oh, the snake helmet? That is sick. I could have done a little more research on like how to get a seat in one of the grandstands, because over there I see open seats, but I don't know. They're just, you can't buy them online. You got to walk into stores and like ask them, hey, are you selling tickets? And didn't have time for that. I arrived in Siena today around noon. We are no longer in the sun though. That is nice. The parade was entertaining, but my lord, it was long. Finally, Siena's ancient triumphal chariot, known as the Carroccio, made a lap around the track with the coveted Palio banner, signifying that the race could begin. The jockeys have been released. Let's go. I guess it takes them a while for the race to start, because it's tough to get is it 7 or 10 horses? It's tough to get them all lined up in such a narrow alley. Some of these turns are tough for the horses. Actually, a lot of animal activists want to cancel this event because sometimes there's horse-on-horse collisions and they're coming around the corner. Maybe more than sometimes. It's a dangerous race. It's a little more dangerous than the Kentucky Derby, I can tell you that much. The VIPs had arrived in their box, and the jockeys began making their way to the starting line. It's so quiet right now. The way the race works is the first 9 horses are assigned a position at the starting line in an order decided by lot immediately before the race starts.
Lupa. No. Torre.
The 10th horse, known as the Rincorsa, waits outside, and only when it approaches the starting line at a running gallop can the race begin. As I said before, this process can take a long time, as deals are usually being made at the starting line between the various jockeys that affect when the Rincorsa moves. If your contradas jockey offers the Rincorsa jockey a big enough bribe, he'll only gallop up, signaling the start of the race, when your horse is in the ideal position. This complicated process usually leads to more than a few false starts. That one did not count, so they need to line up again. Sometimes you have like 5 or 6 false starts. The start of the race is further prolonged when the horses start freaking each other out and won't stand still. Dude, it's tough to get these horses lined up in such a small space. The horses are trying to bite each other. The white one is just headbanging. Yeah, it's nuts. Okay, let's try this again. False start number 2. I could tell the crowd was getting antsy. And while everyone was trying to film the race on their phones, people seemed particularly annoyed whenever I did it. It's literally in front of my head. I hadn't waited 4 hours in the blaring sun not to even film the actual race, so I politely kept filming. False start number 3. And false start number 4. It's going to be a long night. We can't get the horses to line up. It's already been a long day. It's going to be dark in the next hour, so hopefully we can get this show on the road before then. But the horses were clearly in no rush to get this show on the road, as when they tried starting the race for the 5th time, that crazy white horse bucked its jockey off in the first seconds. I should note that in the Siena di Palio, a horse can win even if the jockey falls off mid-race. But seeing it happen at the starting line, they decided to restart for the 6th time today. I believe 2 horses have had to leave the competition. They've had to bring in a substitute horse because they weren't complying to the rules. So hopefully the new horse is on better behavior. And luckily, in the Palio Di Siena, 6 times a charm. They were off for real this time. I'm sure it's hard to tell by my shitty camera skills, but it really was majestic. 500 years of history, all condensed into 3 short laps around the piazza. Ten jockeys on horseback, but only one who would bring glory back to his contrada. The Palio Di Siena, folks. 4 hours of waiting in the scorching sun for 90 seconds of entertainment. Hopefully the after party would last a bit longer. The post-race atmosphere was jubilant as fuck. I got inside the pit at 3:45. Race started at like 8:20. So I was just 4 hours of just standing around very cranky people. My footage of it probably sucks. People were just like telling me, put down your phone, put down your phone. It's like, hey, I'm trying to film a travel show here. Was it worth it? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth it for me. I try to document some of the most unique sporting events in the world, and this is up there. If you're just a tourist, don't have a huge passion for horse racing, I don't know. But for the locals, this race means a lot, and that is cool. You can tell, man. People were like almost in tears afterwards. Dude, I can't even make out the flag of who won. Is it like an eagle or a dragon? It looks like an eagle dragon. Is that one of the neighborhoods? I don't know. I'm just gonna follow them to their neighborhood, I guess. The winning jockey was hoisted on the people's shoulders, and it was clear this party was only getting started. Which contrada? The Dragons won. I think this is where they're doing the award ceremony. Oh, they're going straight to the church. Everyone from the Dragon Contrada immediately marched to their neighborhood church to thank the Virgin Mary for their victory, even though it was most likely a bunch of bribes that secured the dub. People outside were filled to the brim with emotion. The king! And you thought Kentucky Derby jockeys were cool. No one was more elated than the winning jockey, though. as he was now Siena's official hometown hero. Being like a high school quarterback in Texas who wins his team the state championship, or being the winning jockey in Siena, I'd take being the winning jockey in Siena. This guy is now the king of the city. I don't know what sort of fun he's going to get into tonight, but I wouldn't mind tagging along. One of the highlights of the day is that my bladder stood strong. Never was even on the verge of pissing myself. I'm now in line to use the bathroom. That's a personal victory. I stopped drinking beer, was ripping a couple nips of grappa, as one does at Palio Di Siena, but I think that kept my bladder under control. Made sure not to drink a lot of water, so now I'm just completely dehydrated. So yeah, we're gonna mix a few of those in. Go Dragons. A crazy thing to note is that I'm actually living in the Dragon neighborhood. My Airbnb is like a 2-minute walk from the church where they've been celebrating for the last 4 hours. So once again, I'm a good luck charm. I was a good luck charm at Calcio Storico. I was a good luck charm in Iraq. I was a good luck charm in Turkey at a basketball game and a football game. When have I not been a good luck charm? All right, I have followed the victory parade around long enough. Now it's time to take a piss, grab a couple beers, and have a nice meal. I am starving. I posted up at a local restaurant for a much-needed meal and watched highlights of the race. And by the time I finished, the vibes in the city were still cranked up to a 10. Okay, so I stopped following the victory parade for probably an hour and a half. Went and had dinner. I leave the restaurant. The victory parade is still going on, just as strong as it was before. Maybe stronger. The fanfare around this sport is unmatched. Well, I didn't know a word of any of the chants being sung. I sure was happy to be along for the ride. And they're gone. I just realized that all the men are marching up front, and I'm just marching in a pack of like all the females. I don't think they march together. No complaints. I heard rumors that the after party would be overflowing with wine, and after a long search, I finally found the good stuff. And at an event as medieval as the Palio Di Siena, you know they had to serve wine the medieval way too. Wow, so he's blowing it in to get the wine out. That's awesome. I love that technique. Nothing better than a cup of lung-pumped vino. Well, it's officially past midnight now, so happy Red Wine Sundays, folks. You knew I wasn't going to end this video until I got a little sip out of the victory jug. That is some good vino. Is it rude to go back for seconds? I don't want to be the American going back for seconds when he hasn't even finished his first. I just need a small shot. Shot? Shot. All right, cool. All right. Drago! Another one. I'll do another one. All right, that's a good shot. Drago! That's it for now. Drago. I was gonna get roped into chugging like 10 glasses of wine if I stayed around those guys. So that was a solid nightcap. Now I'm actually going to bed. Now that I'd fully soaked in all the festivities surrounding the Palio, I could definitively say, yes, it was worth it. These people live and die for the Palio. Like each year, this could be the most important event, and most of the residents here's lives. You gotta respect that sort of passion and that sort of dedication. So that's why when people were like, oh, you're blocking my view with the phone, I did lower my phone, because to me, I'm trying to make a vid. To them, this is life. That's the Palio Di Siena, folks.